Punch it up. Oh, that's much too late. Prepare to rewind.
Preparing to rewind.
Rewind.
Rewinding, sir.
No, pass this part. Actually, never play that again.
It's right here, stop.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the show?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed then.
When?
Just now. Now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We passed it.
When?
Just now.
When will then be now?
Soon.
3 rad dudes with nothing better to do get abducted by the crew of the Starship Alpha 2. They're from the planet Q, which, due to a space-time loop, is stuck in 82 and must be rescued. They need our heroes to discuss the latest news and give their reviews of games and movies too. Sure hope you're not confused. We swear this is all true, not just the premise to the Totally Rad Show.
Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 23. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm FJ Anatake.
I'm Gergenspiel.
Jeff has just realized that Dan says his name the same way as Jeff does every episode, and Jeff decided to fuck with Dan.
That is what happened.
Or Garbleskay, is whatever the hell it was.
Canada,
Yeah.
I believe.
Point
Not quite.
Anatad.
Not quite FTW yet.
No, not yet.
We're going to wait until next week. The Totally Rad Show is your weekly dose of all things rad. We go to the mall like little girls, dance around in the aisles, and find what's on special. That's rad, and then buy it.
Bring it to you every
Yes.
week. Hey, cool background this week.
Yes,
Jeff Gosling.
Jeff Gosling, who reminds me of Lazy Sunday. I always think of that. Like Adams loves Gosling.
Oh,
Gosling,
yeah.
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, right?
I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, but Jeff did this very, very cool. Sent it in. Thank you,
Dude,
bro.
the backgrounds are getting crazy.
They
right?
are.
I mean, seriously. The
I love it.
backgrounds are getting
Love
crazy.
it.
Speaking
Just
of...
like,
What?
you're gonna do the segue that I was gonna just do
I
for
don't know,
you.
maybe.
Just like how things get crazy as they go on in time.
No.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, 4th edition rules were...
Wow, you're like Dean Kamen with that shit.
That was last week at Gen Con, right?
Like
They
who?
announced that they're doing...
Dean Kamen created the segue.
Oh.
Yes.
They're doing 4th edition rules for Dungeons and Dragons. And we, as people who watch the show regularly know,
Yes.
huge Dungeons and Dragons fans.
Yes. We have been sucked
Into
the 20-sided die of...
Bad pause there.
I know. We suck. Successfully completed the game. Thank you very much. Anyway, yeah, we're a little nervous. At least
I am.
Jeff and I are on this side of the street. Dan's on the happy
It's
side
because
of the street.
we heard. First of all, I haven't really looked into what the rule changes are.
That would be smart.
That would be preparing.
We don't do
But I heard that Living Greyhawk, which is the sort of perpetual world that we've been playing in,
Yes.
is ceasing to be. Which is the only reason really that I have worry and
Hesitation.
What
exactly.
is it
Yeah.
becoming?
We don't
A
know.
different. I always felt like Greyhawk. No offense to one of our bros who introduced it. I always feel like no one. It's not as common as the other worlds, maybe, or
Like
something.
Forgotten Realms?
Forgotten Realms. I knew that growing up, and I didn't know
Right.
Greyhawk.
Well, yeah.
So maybe are we going to get into a world that everyone's in on?
Well, now I play. What do I play? Calamar is the
Everyone's
other
a
one.
relative.
It's like we're playing Guild Wars, and everyone else is playing World of
Wow.
Warcraft. By the way,
Yeah.
casting the commercial, 8-year-old kids, and the casting director's like interviewing them for the
Yeah.
casting, and she's like, "Do you play video games?" And they're like, "Yeah, Guild Wars." I was like, Guild Wars?
Cool.
This 8-year-old kid.
Because they want to play an MMO and mom doesn't want to pay a subscription fee. Probably.
Smart ladies.
Yeah.
Well, shall we talk about some movies, TV shows, and other
Let's
stuff?
do it.
Speaking of which, that's what I want to say right before we go. I know we haven't done TV segment in a while, but that's because we're coming up to the point with the new fall season.
Yes.
So starting probably next week, we're going to be reviewing a new pilot each week. so that we can kind of.
That sounds fun.
Jeff's like, really? This
excited
sounds
about that.
amazing. You get to watch them.
Can I do a two-word review of Californication?
Yes.
The new David Duchovny?
You want to do it right now?
Yeah. Is terrible 2 words or 1?
It's one, but you can call it hot.
What? What's the other one?
All right.
So, some cool news happened this week.
You shaved your beard. That's good news.
Yeah, that happened.
You're getting very.
You know what
Actually-
there needs to be an equilibrium of facial hair, so I grew a little more.
Oh, there can only be exactly
Exactly
3/4 of an inch of hair on all three of us at any time.
When I shaved this morning, and I shaved like
Your lips.
no, I shaved here,
Yeah.
and I left here and soul patch and this, and I looked like Mephistopheles or like
Nice.
Prestige, some dude from the Prestige or something.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy from Cats.
I've never seen Cats.
What's the guy
One
from
of the cats?
Yeah, who's the guy from Cats? The Mephistopheles, right, or something
no,
like that.
he's not Mephistopheles.
But it's that kind of
Mephistopheles is Satan, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Dan is forever.
Dan. Yeah.
What are we doing with movie
dude.
news today?
I thought this was kind of cool.
Let's hit it.
Movie that we liked, you never saw. I think you should see. A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints.
I did see that.
I did see that. But it was good.
I liked it.
Right.
I
What
did
is that?
not love
What's
it.
that one for?
That's cool. Shia LaBeouf was in it.
Oh yeah, that's the New York one where it's like, now I'm New York tough kid. Hey.
Was good.
sweet.
But no,
Nice.
he's
His
good.
performance
Yeah.
is good. I think
I
the
get
movie
it.
is very uneven and kind of. I don't know.
I agree with that.
Okay.
But feeling that way, I still like it. The director, Dito Montiel, he's doing a movie starring Channing Tatum, who was in Guide Recognizing Your Saints. He was the hothead.
guy?
The big
Yeah.
guy who's in Step Up.
Sorry, a movie. It's called Step
He was
Up.
good in that.
That
he was good
dancing
in Guide to
movie. He was
Recognizing
really good.
Yeah.
He's doing this street fighting movie.
Interesting.
With him as the tough dude.
Oh, I just read news about
playing
And
this.
Terrence Howard
Yeah.
is his like Mr. Miyagi type dude.
What isn't
So it's
Terrence
And street
Howard
fighting,
in?
not as in like Hadouken and what?
What isn't Terrence Howard in?
Yeah, he's working a lot these days.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like we just saw one
Don't
Iron
blame
Man.
him for that.
Well,
What was
although
he
I will
nominated
say
for?
in Iron Man, because I was never a big Terrence Howard fan. I was sort of like, he looks like Eve. He truly does look like Eve from America's Next Top
That's
Model.
why.
And he was in like the Hustle and Flow, which I didn't really like, and like a couple different things. I was
Don't get me
like,
started on hustling.
I know.
I love that movie.
And so I was started to get into this like thing of like he was my new buff where I was like, or new boof where I was like, oh man, he's in it, really. And then we heard him on the Iron Man panel, and I was like, that guy's fucking awesome.
I think he's a very talented actor.
Yeah.
It seems like this movie is Karate Kid plus acting plus. I mean, not that, you know what I mean. Plus like.
Oh, watch it there,
performance.
Daniel San.
You know what? I'm not dissing Karate Kid.
Karate
I'm the
Kid
last person to
with
diss
with
Karate Kid.
now cinema is a little bit more into realism and grittiness.
It's just
and
not
the 80s
80s,
didn't
not
really
80s.
have that.
Yeah.
Right. It seems like especially with that guy. What's his name? Dito Betel?
Yeah, Dito Montiel.
Montielli.
Yeah.
He
That's
seems
cool.
very interested in grounding things in reality and
Yeah.
making them. And so that's what I'm trying to say.
And I'm really excited because
Interesting.
I thought the things that I didn't like about Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, that what I feel agree with you kind of uneven was because it was so personal and it was very experimental. So I'd be excited to see him make a movie that's maybe not as
About him
personal
or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an autobiography. So he was trying to
That's cool.
put us in his head.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Also, we've talked about this filmmaker a couple times on the show, and I didn't really want to talk about this news, but we have to.
It's not Bilbo Baggins, is it?
The filmmaker,
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah, makes porn.
I'm cackling today.
good.
It is Stephen Sommers, director of The Mummy, Mummy 2, has signed on to do and Deep Rising, which is his best movie, which you
Deep
haven't seen.
Rising?
Yes, Treat Williams, Famke Jensen.
I thought Deep Rising was that movie that the porn director Bilbo Baggins did.
It was. It was a spoof on Dark Horizons for some reason.
He's doing the G.I. Joe movie. He just signed on to do G.I. Joe the movie.
I mean, until I see anything about the G.I. Joe movie, it's just completely whatever. I mean, it's like the Transformers, where it's like until I saw the movie and actually saw what they were
How do
doing,
you
it's
feel
like
about
whatever.
the guy who made those movies, though, Mummy movies,
I
making
like
G.I. Joe?
I like the Mummy movies. I thought it was a good sort of tongue-in-cheek, good action.
Van
I'm
Helsing
a little scared. Oh, he did Van Helsing. Well, that was a stinker.
Yeah.
But also good, not good acting. Good action sequences and stuff like that. My only concern is that I don't want them to make fun of G.I. Joe. I would want them to make a G.I. Joe movie that would... Because if you do, like... And maybe it's just because of what kind of movies I saw. Like Mask, the movie, which I just watched.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you did.
I can't wait to see it.
No, it's an atrocity.
I just want to see. I was
No,
just 5
and it's
minutes of
also,
it.
it's like 4 years into the system when Tracker now has the IndyCar. Remember when he went to the IndyCar?
Right, we have to fill the audience in. At
Yeah.
Comic-Con, Alex purchased the animated Mask film on DVD.
How do you walk by a DVD store that has Mask, the movie, and not buy it?
Like these guys walked by it.
Well, you're morons. Although now...
He also bought
Although
Doctor
I-
Who porn,
Yeah.
so...
Yes.
And I did buy the series of Are You Afraid of the Dark on DVD.
There's a lot of stupid things
For
happening.
$65.
But all I'm saying is that, like, watching it, I was going, wow, if you could make this movie and make it, like, real and gritty and now, this would fucking kill.
What, Mask?
Mask.
Okay.
It would kill.
But I don't think G.I. Joe should
But
be
see,
that.
that's the problem. Is
my
that I'm
question
worried that
is-
G.I. Joe's going to be like, hey, look, I'm a snake.
Well, I think Summers is the perfect guy. I want to hear what
Do
you
you
say.
really?
Because, well, we disagree on his level of achievement in what I'm about to say. I think he made good, campy fun. I think the wrong kind of guy would be, this is what you thought he did, Rob Cohen, who made Triple X and Fast and the
Yes.
Furious, who tried to make for real action movies that we're not laughing with, we're laughing at. And Stealth, you know, and I think Summers, he's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be that 80s camp, that Karate Kid, and...
Do you think that, I mean, that's the G.I. Joe movie you want to see, is funny?
I don't think it should be, I think it's going to be... The missed notes that were in Transformers, where it was kind of for kids, but they were playing it like adults, I think that would occur. I think it's not funny, but I think it's got to be sort of like the way we feel about Jack Burton or Snake Plissken or Roddy Rod Piper and They Live. You know what I mean? Like badass guys, but who are kind of self-deprecating.
Kurt Russell
As Joe.
Flint.
Oh, or Duke Joe. There's no Joe.
Flint. He'd be Flint.
Dude, but we could cast that movie in our sleep.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, how great
Okay,
are
cast
anybody?
it, Cobra.
No, he has to go to sleep. It's bad for the show.
Hold on.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Sorry, I
cast
just
it in the
woke up.
forums.
Cassidy
No,
Ford.
I'm done.
Oh, sorry.
Did I cut you off there? Your last.
No. I cut you off.
Well, my question is with the G.I. Joe film is there's kind of a barometer of how far superheroes they are and how far army they are.
Yes.
And that decision in the making of a film, especially a live action film version, to me is my biggest question.
Yeah.
Because it could be, I mean, you could do a G.I. Joe movie that's basically
Shield. You know what I mean?
Or
Like-
Platoon, or something like that.
Oh no, I meant like Shield, as in Shield, the thing from the Ultimates, the comic book.
Yes.
Where they could be considered
Not
like
the greatest
Shield.
show ever.
No, not the greatest show ever.
Yes, but it could be like Shield. You're right. It could be like Nick Fury, Agent of Shield.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or it could be more like Platoon.
Yeah,
The
but
choices
it could.
are there.
I mean, but I think it could be. I mean,
I don't want it to be Platoon.
Okay.
The G.I.
Don't
Joes.
get it twisted.
The Joes themselves all have specialties, and they all
Yeah.
have code names, and they all. I mean, it's almost as if they have superpowers.
Right.
So you could make it very costumey.
It could be X-Men-y, like the first two
Exactly.
X-Men.
Yeah. So my question is, where does that lie on there, on that barometer? What are they imagining? Are they imagining a war movie? I mean, obviously PG light, warish kind of battle movie, or are they
Lasers.
envisioning it
They
like?
fought with lasers, man.
That was weird.
Those things
shit.
like doo-doo-doo.
That was
All right,
weird.
okay,
shit.
sorry,
Yeah.
what was the next thing?
So, to segue into a flick we want to talk briefly about, Adventureland is a movie that just attached to star Jesse Eisenberg, the kid who was in Roger Dodger. Did you guys see Roger Dodger?
I did
Love
see
that
Roger
movie.
Dodger.
You hate
Very
it.
I
good.
love
No,
that.
I thought it was
I
great.
love
Are
it.
you kidding me?
Love that movie.
That guy,
Gosh.
that
Roger
guy,
Loved it.
fuck, what the hell's his
The
name?
kid or the
No,
older guy, Campbell Scott?
Campbell Scott.
He's fantastic.
So good, dude.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that I wish I could go back and give him the career he should have gotten.
Couldn't agree more.
You know what I mean?
Could not
Like, I
agree
wish
more.
I could just, because he's in some great, like, singles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's
like,
always solid.
always
and
solid.
very interesting actor, and
yeah.
just underused.
And Roger Dodger is fucking hysterical.
And the kid, I felt, hasn't been in the movie. He hasn't been as good since Roger
Yeah.
Dodger.
Yeah.
But this
That was like 10 years
is
ago.
about
I
90s. Wow. Okay. So yeah.
That's 17 years ago.
So Adventureland is about a kid. Jesse Eisenberg is a really heady guy. He just graduates college and wants to go to Europe for the summer, but doesn't. His dad loses his job, so he has to get a minimum wage job working in an amusement park.
Cool.
I like the idea of this.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
directed by Greg Mottola,
Greg Mottola.
who directed Superbad. And Day Trippers. Did you love Day Trippers?
I didn't see Day Trippers.
What?
I
Day Trippers, Parker Posey. Don't you love her?
did I stutter?
Liev Schreiber, Parker Posey. Day Trippers is great, dude.
I really enjoyed.
Is that the one with the
Posey.
car?
Yes, it's like Flirting with Disaster.
I think I saw
I
some.
love
I
Floating
think I
with
saw.
Disaster.
Day Trippers.
But I think I saw some of it.
Okay.
And it didn't hit me.
What do you think of Superbad?
I didn't really care for it that much. I thought it got
Surprising.
good. I was shocked. I was so excited for this movie.
Yeah.
We even didn't review it because I was like,
We assumed it was
why?
gonna be
It's going to
great.
be good and funny and all that stuff. I mean, all the funniest parts were in the funniest parts were clearly the cops.
Really?
Oh my god, that
Wow.
to me was really fun.
Wow.
Anytime they came on, I was like, all right, I'm enjoying this. And anytime the other stuff happened, I was like, I just didn't. It got good towards the end. It got better. Like I actually didn't realize that I was watching a movie. Like I got to
great
that point where
story?
I was like, no.
Oh.
But I just got to a point where I was like, oh, this is funny. This is kind of funny.
Dan, did you like it?
You're in shock right now because you liked it, and you're shocked at how much you didn't like it. No, you hated it.
I'm in shock because I thought I was going to be the minority opinion.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
I fear that I'm too old for this film. I mean, that's my biggest fear. I walked in and I went, oh my gosh, I've been reading in our forums, I've been reading online, people talking about how much they enjoy this movie, and I'm scared that I just outgrew this movie because I wanted to leave.
Yeah,
I
wanted
thought
to-
it was
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
And I just think maybe, I think Michael Cera is a very charming, he has such great delivery. I love his style.
I think he was the better
Was he
one.
the big one or the
No,
little
he's the little one. He's
The
from
little
Arrested
one was-
Development.
yeah, he's
and
way
every time
funny.
he's on screen, the only times I laughed were stuff that he did and when he underplays stuff.
Although
when he's
McLovin
awkward.
was, I enjoyed
thought
myself some McLovin.
The thing that I didn't get is they do this sequence where the larger guy goes in and
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, and he says he's gonna steal some liquor for the thing.
Yeah.
And he has a series of imaginings of what might happen, and they're all like over the top and crazy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool and kind of funny. You can imagine. And then from that moment on, the whole movie turns into that. The whole movie, up to that point, you can it's kind of this slice of life, real stuff.
Yeah, I
and then
see
from
what
that
you're saying.
moment on, it's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, everything was like sitcom
With cursing.
logic.
I was shocked
Like
at how much
forget
cursing there
reality.
was.
Completely forget
Yeah.
reality.
I love cursing.
That's what I didn't like about it. I felt like it was dick
It was
and
like
fart jokes.
It was kids talking like adults wished kids talked.
Yeah, I felt like it's interesting that you said you're too old for this movie because I feel like it was really trying to I felt like they were trying to put words in there that we don't say, like, oh cock fart, or dick,
Yeah.
They were just being vulgar because I don't think anyone said cock fart in a movie before. Let's say it.
Right.
And I feel like they were trying to create, like the kid says vagine instead of vagina. I feel like they were trying to start trends.
Yeah.
Like they want
And
the
that's
kids
never
in
the
high
way
school to be
trends
like,
start.
dude, you're a
That much.
vagina.
And that's
Yes.
never where the way trends
Yes.
start.
But I actually liked it more than you guys. I
Towards the end, I
really
enjoyed
loved.
it.
I loved the ending. I really related to their relationship, and I
it's-
liked that it was.
The movie is a love story between two men.
Which I think
that
is
last
great.
moment when they turn and look at each other, you realize they don't like girls. They like each other.
Oh no, I don't think
Dude,
so.
it is homosocial.
I
Like,
think-
textbook like that is what the movie is about. It's about two dudes falling in love with each other.
Yeah, but I think.
And
that's
that's
it.
fine. I
Wow.
mean, I'm not saying that's bad.
But
I'm
I
just
don't think
saying,
it's
like,
homosexual.
I didn't say homosexual. It's
Oh.
homosocial. It's like
Oh,
it's,
yeah, well,
it's
yeah.
every female in the movie is completely objectified, and it's I don't know. That's why I feel old because it makes me
didn't
it's
make me feel old, I
It's
just
slightly
didn't like it.
offensive, and it's like not interesting, and all the women are two dimensional, and
I didn't think that Jonah Hill's interest was two-dimensional. I thought she was actually. I loved how the girls.
She was planted
none of the girls were smoking hot. They were all like cute, but they felt like real girls that these guys would be attracted to. But they're not the hottest girl in school.
I guess I was just so taken out of the fact that I didn't like the beginning part that I didn't really. I didn't even care to look into that kind of shit. Like I just literally sat there and went, okay, well, hopefully it'll get funny. I laughed out loud maybe once, which was the I have a boner when McLovin was getting his finger sucked, and he was like, I have a boner.
Yeah.
I was like, that was funny.
Let me
But
just
other
say-
than that, I was like,
say
although I
two
like
positive
Seth
things
Rogen or
real
whatever,
quick.
Seth, whatever his name is.
Yeah, as the cop.
But he wrote it too,
Right. Yeah.
which I thought was like maybe he had a little too much power, and now we see his abilities.
Well, he
'cause
wrote.
the writing was
he's
really
written-
not
He's written
good.
some other things. Anyway,
positive
two positive things. One is I love that it's a love story between dudes, because I feel like I've always had really close relationships with like best friends, and that's never really swingers kind of did that, where I feel like I've had a lot of arguments and really heated debates and good brohood that feels like I'm in a relationship with my guys, you know, and I want to see that portrayed. But
it's just but along with that, it's such a hostility toward women. It becomes,
I didn't get all that hostility.
Well, I think that to me,
hostility.
the hostility. I took that as guys not knowing anything about women, and their only way of talking about them to make them seem like they had any knowledge was to sort of talk about them in that way. I mean, I feel like to me it wasn't. It was just because they were so not clued into women that's why all that was happening.
Yeah.
Also,
so what's the second positive
the second
thing?
positive thing is something that I tried to articulate about Stardust a few weeks ago when I was saying it seemed like it was just grow. I didn't really make my point very well. I was like, it seemed to just grow and be happening. I felt like there was, usually in comedies, I can use Billy Madison as an example, it opens and he's a fuck up in life, and then he gets the company, and now the second act is him trying to become, learn, go to school. You can see those acts so clearly.
Yeah.
This movie, it just like it started and they were in high school and they wanted to get girls, and it just kind of kept. It was more like Dazed and Confused in a way. Like I didn't know where the acts started and began. It was just like I was on this day with these guys, and it just kept going.
Yeah. But would you
great.
say overall that you liked it? Would you tell somebody you know?
I would tell someone to go see it because. I don't know, how do you do those things where it's like, it's good, I thought it was good, but I also didn't like many things, but I think it's worth someone seeing, because I don't know if they're going to think it's funny or not. It certainly wasn't a movie that I totally didn't like at all. I liked it more than I didn't like, but I certainly I didn't laugh at many things.
I would definitely tell people to see it if it came upon them, but to not seek it out.
If you were trapped under something.
Seeing a comedy in the theater is so...
Still, that to me is not what...
Anyway.
The theater shouldn't make a comedy.
Chupacabra Terror.
So you may have seen last week when we gave Alex the Chupacabra Terror as a joke for his birthday.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys remember that I'm a huge Chupacabra fan. That was like my go-to joke on Dignation for years.
That's how
was the Chupacabra, which is why that's where I thought you guys were going with it, which is why I was excited to see it.
It would be only right to actually watch it together and discuss what we thought of it. John Rhys Davies and Giancarlo Esposito.
Gotta love Esposito.
Giancarlo
Names
Esposito,
above the title.
Do the right thing. You gotta do the right thing and
Ali.
Indiana Jones in one movie. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
We'll see.
Can't go wrong.
No. Good.
Wait, but forget about your bag. No, I need my medications.
What is this?
He's bulletproof. Why isn't it realizing that?
He's making out with him. It was just good enough to really annoy you. It wasn't like bad enough where you were like, haha, although there were some bad freaking lines. Dan picked out cardboard cutouts of the actors in the end scene. No, the Navy SEALs were like the dorkiest guys, and then they had bike helmets and knee pads.
The best part of the movie was the fact that our hero told everyone he was actually a U.S. Marshal. But
Oh, God, yes.
Insurance agent. And the girl's like, after he like took down some bad dudes, he was like, I thought you were an insurance agent. And he goes,
Insurance salesman?
I'm the best insurance you've got.
It was Chupacabra.
Chupacabra got, we have to say, Chupacabra got
Yep.
got electrocuted,
Shot by many bullets. Armor piercing worked a little bit better.
got kicked in the face by Lady Girl Power.
Yeah, there's a little
aerobics instructor.
aerobic kicking.
Jenny, look out!
Well, thanks, boys. I appreciate you getting me it and coming over to my place. There wasn't even any boob.
All right, so this week is
Big week.
Big week. Leipzig, the German, the European big gaming conference, and PAX is happening, which is Penny Arcade's conference in Seattle.
It's happening
Also
right
a
now.
channel that I don't watch ever.
It is. I don't think it's still a channel anymore.
Isn't it Spanish language only?
No, I thought it was like
No, it was
Canadian
like-
or something.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What does matter is
Picket
that
fences.
I can't pull myself away from BioShock. Because all this cool news and stuff is going on, but I want to talk about BioShock. So
Let's
we
do it.
talked about it last week. We'd only played the demo. The full game is out. We've been playing it. Hopefully you've been playing it. Here's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I've been noticing in the forums on our website and around the web,
Yeah.
there's been some backlash to BioShock, and I just don't get it.
Like what
What
kind
were
of...
the-
Some people are saying, oh, everybody's universally saying it's wonderful, and it's a big game with big flaws.
What are the flaws? What did they say are the flaws?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You
haven't
were like,
read
fuck
it.
those guys.
Yeah. Well, it could be that stupid widescreen BS thing, which is just...
which is going to be fixed and is...
What's that?
It's not fixed. It's nothing broken.
Well, the widescreen mode, the field of vision that you get in widescreen is different than what you get on a standard definition
Yeah, but
television.
when they-
So am I saying everything okay? in
Yes.
widescreen?
Well,
no, widescreen is chopping off the... Well, actually,
not chopping
I
off.
agree. I know. Ken Levine came out and explained it.
Because
We
it
should-
makes perfect sense.
Exactly. We
It
don't
makes
even need to
perfect
talk
sense.
about it. If you
Okay,
were interested,
all right. Tell me later.
look it up on
Yeah.
the web.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
It's a non-issue.
Okay.
Yes.
What is an issue is how freaking great this game is.
I didn't get the game.
Oh.
I've not played it, but Liam is like in.
It is
And
so
he told
freaking
me,
awesome.
he talked about the depth of the game where you can have like these tonics and your plasmids,
Yeah.
and there's supposedly over like 70 different plasmids.
and you can there is
combos and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
there's crafting system. You can upgrade your weapons and craft your weapons.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome because we talked a lot about the style and design of the game last week, which
was
we all universally
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
But the gameplay itself is really great. I mean, I love. It is definitely a shooter. It is definitely
Yeah.
a horror shooter. But it's a
Yeah.
great game, as we said last week, to play with the lights off, with someone over, hanging
Yeah.
out, being scared together.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
such a great game. Dan, you played a little more of it, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit more of it. I certainly didn't get as far because you mentioned some shit before we started taping. I was like, I didn't get to that. I got telekinesis, and some dude's throwing fire bombs at me, and I'm catching and throwing them back, and he keeps coming out, and I don't know how to get past him.
Well, you should listen to what they're telling you to do.
It says throw him
that
back
was
at
the other
him.
thing.
No, they say destroy the debris with the.
Oh, with the fire bombs.
Yes.
Genius. But it was funny. I was playing with Priscilla, was watching over my shoulder, and I was certain she was like, "Is it a scary game?" And I was like, no, don't worry about it. And then I was freaked out. And she was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want to see what happens in the emergency ward." And I was like, "Okay." And we got really motion sick, and I get that, which sucks. And honestly, I'm not even interested in putting the game back on. Hopefully, I now have a bad taste in my mouth because it made
Can I
me
borrow it?
pukey. So. Hopefully, that happens when I play first-person shooters. I need to take a break and then come back to it. So I'm bummed. I mean,
That sucks.
but it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to me. My mind isn't blown.
It's not Half-Life 2 for me, which kind of the pinnacle of FPSs in my opinion. But it's right there. It's really close. And hopefully, as it goes on, I'm still pretty early, and I'm only about 5 or 6 hours in. So and I'm taking my time, and I'm exploring everything, and I just, it has such a great sense of style. It knows what it's doing.
wait
It's
to play.
telling a really interesting story, and there's a whole like Dead Rising mechanic. You know how Dead Rising you take pictures? I hope I'm not
I haven't gotten
spoiling.
there yet.
I'm not
Oh,
going to
yeah,
spoil
yeah,
any
yeah.
story moments because.
But you can like study the
Yes.
creatures, and then you get better. Like your damage is more because
yeah,
you know more about
that
them.
was-
Yes.
Yeah.
And which
crazy.
It seems they clearly stole from Dead Rising, but it's a great thing to steal.
Well, but if you take something and then make it better, it works for me.
Right.
You know, I couldn't take my time playing this game because I find myself just trying to get through it because I'm a little bit on edge playing it. Like I just want to I want to go there. Like, which maybe is why I'm not I'm a little bit like nervous.
You're not
playing
experiencing it. You're trying to run for
it.
your life.
Yes, I really am. I'm like, I don't want to see that gross stuff. Like, I don't want to see
man.
it. Freaks me out a little bit.
Jeff eats that gross shit up all the time.
There's such awesome. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, thumbs up from this guy.
All right, cool.
The Xbox Live Marketplace had a new demo this week. Interestingly, EA's skating game called Skate.
What's it about?
It's about skating. It's called Skate.
Nice.
It's
I'm actually
for
very
years.
interested.
For years, the Tony Hawk series has dominated skateboarding
we will
games.
say they have pwned.
True. They haven't had any competition really.
Well, yeah.
And EA
They had
decided.
ESPN did one, right? X Games,
I think so.
some sort of X Games skateboarding thing.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
loved
Yeah,
Tony
there's-
Hawk back in the day.
I
yeah,
still
too?
really enjoy Tony Hawk games.
Have you played any of the recent ones?
Yeah, I have. I
like Thug and.
I played
Thaw.
Thug 1 and I played the Project 8. I rented it, so I only played, the beginning part of it. But it's still the same kind of game. It's still fun.
That's kind of what I don't like about it. It's still the same game,
Well, interestingly enough,
there's some
Skate is not the same kind of
right?
game.
Which is very cool.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't. I knew. I was shocked that you wanted us to download. I was like, this isn't going to be good. They're not. This is one of these Tony Hawk. No one can stop trying. Like coming out with a football game when there's Madden. It's like, please.
Although,
and then when this started, okay,
Interestingly. Go
yeah.
ahead.
But then when this started, I was like, it looks pretty, but it looked like Project 8, so I wasn't totally sold. And then when it was moving around, and I was like, so it's just this view the whole time. And then it started to sink in. I was like, so this is almost like kind of a racing game, how you're always like moving in that, just in the fact that you're always visually behind in that perspective. And it's really the feeling that I had when I popped in Spider-Man 2 when I was webbing around the city, and it made me feel like Spider-Man when it was the open world.
Yeah.
And I was webbing, and I was like, wow, I actually feel the way I've always wanted to feel. They made me feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I felt like a dude skateboarding.
I think that's what they're going for in the
was
sense
difficult.
that it is difficult.
Yeah.
Well,
which we'll
skateboarding
talk
is
about.
difficult.
But yeah, but with Tony Hawk, I mean, it's almost like a Superman. It's larger than life. You're grinding cords that go across the city. I mean, you're doing things that no one could do. And I think it's interesting that they took a step back and said, we're not going to try to out Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
We're going to break it down, and it's about your footwork. It's about your positioning on the board.
And you used to skate, right, Alex?
I was actually very interested to see what you guys thought, because this game so captures the feeling of skateboarding. It made me want to take my skateboard out. I mean, I was like, yeah, this is what I remember. Like, this is exactly what I remember. It was like, because skateboarding is hard. Skateboarding is not easy. Skateboarding is about body position. It's about foot position, like you're saying. I mean, it's like all that stuff.
Right.
Subtle moves to different directions make tricks completely different. And it's landing a trick in this game is just as satisfying as landing a trick in real life. And chaining stuff together. And it seems to me like they did a really good job of saying, let's make a game that is basically a skateboarding simulator. Because it really does feel...
And it makes
even the
sense.
gameplay,
Doesn't it make sense? Like, because when you ollie, you do have to snap and then bring up your right. And like, that's exactly what you're doing. They all make sense.
Yeah, and if you want to... And even if you're not ollieing, you can bend down. That's what you're just bending down. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like nollies and stuff is just the same thing, but with your other side. And then off this way is heel flip, that way is a kick flip. And then did you see when they were showing like a couple different things in the game where they're like, yeah, you can just follow one of the guys and do these tricks. And they showed how you do the trick, like what you do to do the trick. And some of the things like board flips and 360 spins and shit like that. It was like, I'm in. I mean, I had a blast. It's hard as hell.
Very hard.
It is hard as hell.
But Sorry.
I was just going to say, I did all the challenges. I ran out of time. I was like, well, that was awesome.
But I would say don't get turned off by the word simulation, because it's
No,
not.
no.
It's not like those basketball games or football games where you're like the manager and you're.
No.
This is like it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
What did you think?
Yeah.
I really dug it. I like the fact that they're willing to look at this genre that sort of has been ingrained in a certain way, and they're willing to go, hey, let's reimagine what it would be like. Let's take a look at the controls and try to make them as close to real skating as possible. Because I remember seeing a lot of the build-up to this game and thinking that the camera, that low camera, I was like, how do you see where you're going? But it works. It really works. And it's really cool. And I would love to see with the full game how far they go and what different kinds of things they can let you do.
I actually started to think about multiplayer a little bit when I was riding around because I bumped into somebody and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I bumped into someone in the air.
Yeah, and I thought, how fucking great is this going to be? If multiplayer really just is, here's the park and all your friends are skating. Because I remember skating with my friends. You would go and like, you'd find this really cool area and you'd go and you'd like figure out, you're like, oh dude, I think I can do like a kick flip over this railing and land it, and then you like kind of try it, and as you're trying it, your buddies like kind of notice that you're doing something, and then everybody comes around and it's like, dude, wait, I think I can get this, and then other people start trying it, and I feel like that could happen in this sort of virtual space with people who are everybody's just kind of cruising around chatting.
Project 8 does do that to its credit.
Well, that's great. I love it.
Yeah, and it's cool because they have the slow motion mode, and you can like see your guy kind of moving and the other guy. But it would be cool to see.
Cool.
Before we head out, we don't have much time, but the Leipzig conference, as I mentioned, is going on. Not a lot of news coming out of there. A lot of more hands-on reports, which is really cool for some cool games. But one of the interesting tidbits of news that I thought I'd like to bring up is Mafia 2.
I never played the first one.
You never played the first one? Did you play the first one?
Nope.
Oh,
really? I didn't know it was
game.
a game like that.
It's a fantastic game.
I didn't know it was like a must-play.
I would say it's.
That's the one that had like halfway through you had the driving section that everybody talked about.
Yeah, it wasn't even halfway through. It was like in the first hour, and it was almost impossible. I had to use a cheat to get past that part because it's like it was broken. Yeah. But the rest of the game is
it being developed by 2K or somebody?
Yeah, Take-Two.
Or Take-Two? Yeah.
Yes, it's a direct sequel. I think a lot of the same people are working on it.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong. But the first game, you would really like it. It's very cinematic, tells a really cool story, and does so with a lot of style. The graphics, even now, look great. You know, it was a great PC game, and I'm very excited that they're doing a sequel.
I'm excited as well now.
You know what's interesting about video games? Unlike any other medium,
I'm excited for this.
When a game gets a bad review,
you
don't go see it. You don't go buy it. You don't go rent it. There's no need to. It's bad. It's a bad game. If it gets a 5, whatever. If a movie gets a bad review, or
you
a
can
book,
still enjoy it.
or a comic, it just might not be for you.
Right.
Well, you know what else is interesting is that it tends to be the case.
Marinate.
It tends to be the case with video games that the games that are the best games are the most successful games. Whereas movies,
the best movies not always the most successful.
So what? Because it's a game. It's not a thing you watch.
That's the difference.
What is it?
No, Dan nailed it. It's a game, not a thing you watch.
It's a thing I do for fun. It's not something I watch or read.
Let's think about that later.
Yes.
Swinging in. So, emails this week. But before we get to emails, we should hit up this awesome image that was sent in by Nick Papagiorgio.
Peter Papadopoulos.
Peter Papadopoulos.
Testicles?
Okay, well, before we just display it.
Whoa! You thought you saw it, but you didn't. That was an image.
He posed the question that, we end every segment with the old fist explosion.
Yes.
Well, what happens after the fist explosion? Old Peter, he caught a very candid picture of us after the explosion.
Yeah, we usually don't show this much of the footage.
I thought
Try to turn the camera off and then
clever
clean up.
and awesome.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. Good work,
Peter.
Papagiorgio.
Papadopoulos.
All right, now on to the emails. So this email is from Simon from Denmark. Hello, Simon. Or Baden-Savango, which is Dutch for hello. If you were
I find that hard to believe, sir.
It's sort of like Fandango. It's very interesting. If you were about to help somebody who's getting mugged or beat up or something, you knew you could save or help him, and you had 5 seconds to either rip open your shirt to reveal a Superman costume underneath, yell out, "This is Sparta," before kicking the bad guy in the chest, or do some other cool hero move, what would it be?
Oh, that's awesome.
From Simon. Now, before
Which,
we
of course,
answer,
we would have to do. I mean, it's required.
yeah, what are you gonna do? Just help them be like, yeah.
Right.
So before we get into this, we want to say we're thinking about starting a new fun little thing. So when you send us your email, if you want to attach a picture of yourself and any stats that you have, maybe like your favorite movie, favorite video game, we're gonna throw up a little
ERA.
Yeah, you know what we're gonna throw up? We're gonna throw up the cutout on the back of the GI Joe that has
boy.
the picture with all the stats.
Steve's hating you right now for all the extra work you're asking him to do.
Yeah, they wanted it. So send that in. Obviously, we don't have that about Simon.
Just send in that thing, you know, that's on everyone's MySpace page. That's like sushi, love it. Do you curse? Fuck yeah, or like fuck no, or, you know that like survey that everyone takes.
Yeah.
I just offended.
Very
everyone.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Yes, super good. So let's start with Jeff.
So, like, you know, if I was Schwarzenegger and you said chill out, you know, you gotta kick him and
Yeah.
right. So check this one out.
These are all going to be so horribly
I know,
dorky.
that's what's so great about him.
I don't even know what.
And you kind of have to do it in the Arnold voice too. We had this improv game when I was doing in my old improv company where it was called Last Action Line. Anyway, so it's like that. So here we go. So there's somebody being attacked, and I'm going to prevent it, and I go, "You're writing checks you cannot afford."
Wow.
Punch.
Wow.
Kick.
Canada, his name, afford. Wow.
You didn't even get it.
What? How did you not? Oh my god, that's just like you can't afford them.
You're writing checks you cannot afford.
Okay, I didn't know that was like okay. So now I got to think my name.
No, what Jeff did was he took the email that we were already concerned about by not knowing, and then went, one more please.
Yeah.
And now we were like,
Holy shitballs.
yes.
Wow.
So Dan.
No. Yes, Alex.
Now I was the guy. I'm asking you a question.
Yes. What's your
Okay,
question?
I will
After
say,
I'm done with you, you'll be in Tractionburg. No, never
That's
mind.
closer.
Jesus, I'm glad you said that instead of me.
Boy, I don't know.
I
You know,
thought
'cause
it was gonna be like TTYL.
No, it can be. It doesn't have to be what I did.
But then it wouldn't be a
Whatever you
punch.
want.
It would be like a.
Like
Yes.
no way.
Oh, what about this is what it's like to become a man? Pow.
Thank
That
you.
would be
That's
good.
mine.
No, it can't be yours. You didn't think of it. So I will say, you know what? This is going to be kind of horribly stupid, but I would pick up a brick.
I
I
like
would
it.
go, why don't you suck on all the bricks and hit him in the face?
Hey!
Oh.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
Because I could see somebody saying that and be like, that guy just said eat brick and hit him in the face with a brick. All right, Dan, what do you got?
What if I was like?
I'm going to love that.
What if I was like?
Allow me to direct you to jail.
No, what if I was like something like?
I got a million.
You just went,
What if I was like
he goes, what if I was like,
something like I was like, what's my name backwards? And they were like, what's my name backwards and pluralized?
and they were like, I
they were
don't
like-
know who you are.
And they were like, Nads, and I was like, yep. Boom!
Dan Nads.
What's my name
What's my
backwards?
name? Say my name backwards.
Pluralized.
Nads.
They're like,
Bang.
I don't know, douchebag.
I've never met you in my life.
I don't know what douchebag is spelled backwards.
I'm trying to rape here. Could you please leave? You're like, but I'm preventing it.
My name is Dan. Say it
You
backwards with an S.
Wear a name tag. Your costume would be a name tag. Your crime fighting costume would be a name tag. And you're like, what's my name backwards in plural?
Or you could just walk up and say Nads. Nads. Bang.
Now say foot.
Now say foot Nads.
Oh boy.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm
so
sorry.
our crime fighting careers will begin shortly. Clearly.
And
or
poorly.
never begin.
Yes, they will not quite get off the ground. But thank you, Simon. Hopefully that atrocity of crime fighting was what you desired.
And how cool is it that he was in Denmark?
Very
cool.
Well, it's even cooler than other places. It's true.
Sponsors.
So we got some sponsors this week. We want to thank GV.com for sponsoring the show again. Also, we have a winner for this week's GV.com powered TRS
GV, of course.
video game of
the
show of the
YouTube
week.
for video game videos.
Yes.
Where you can post and check out cool tricks, tips,
Glitches.
Glitches, cheats, hacks,
awesome stuff
packs.
done in video games.
the
PAX?
cable channel.
What?
Yeah, touche. Also, they have a new algorithm, a search algorithm that helps vote, so the votes count even more to get people more popular.
Oh, sweet.
Votes count even more?
Votes count even more. Now they count
so
double.
it's
Tomorrow they'll
illegal?
count triple.
You're saying Diebold did their new algorithm? Hey-o, political humor.
The people that did the...
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a D&D joke.
I know, I thought so too.
I was
I
like,
never thought of
I
Diebold.
was like, what's a diebold? All attacks count double in diabolds.
Somewhere,
but good try.
MoveOn.org is laughing.
Yeah, one person who watches the show. But we want to thank GV.com, and the winner is Ben Toaster
Testicles.
Strudel. Ben Toaster Strudel.
Yes.
You just looked at me and then continued on.
Testicles? I can't even touch that.
Yes. Ben, who watches our show and
yes.
digs our show and
Oh,
posted
dude.
this video.
Amazing. I didn't know you could launch crap in Battlefield 2 with the little.
It's awesome. I guess he
put
put C4 stuff on the thing and
C4
just kept on
charges and then bam,
exploding
bam, bam.
it, so it... Smart.
Dude. Super
cool.
Smart.
Epic. And also, Tubes Now at tubesnow.com. So tubesnow.com they've been sponsoring Dignation for a while. It's a really cool sort of app / website / like network for your friends where you can deliver stuff. Basically, you set up a tube and you can have people access the tube, and whatever you put in the tube, everybody can see. So you can throw files in the tube, you can throw video, music, whatever you want in your tube. You can customize the tubes. You can set permissions on the tube. So like I could have a tube and I was like, well, I just want Dan to get this thing. Bam. So head over to tubesnow.com, sign up for an account and check them out. We should set up like a Totally Rad Show too.
We should. I checked out their earlier site, which was tubesomeday.com.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they've released the final version.
They have. Good times. Is it hot in here or is it just the humor? No, it was good. So thanks to all our sponsors. If you want to send us an email, you can send an email to fans@totallyradshow.com and do send questions, comments, concerns. Usually not concerns, but if you do send a question, send in a picture and some stats about you, and we'll throw that up as well.
You can also send backgrounds.
Yes.
And that's where they would go to, fans@totallyradshow.com. Also, check out our forums. Really fun stuff going on there. Totallyradshow.com.
Correct.
Click on discussion forums.
Correcting.
And the MySpace, myspace.com/totallyradshow. Become our friend. Find out what movie we're going to review before the show comes out so you can catch it before we talk about it and ruin it for you.
Smart. That's a good idea. Hopefully
Also, please subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yes. iTunes is
And tell your
good.
friends about the show.
Yeah.
Please. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Dudes, I'm ready to go get a jacket that says Totally Rad Show on it.
And a jacket that comes in sweatshirt form.
Where would I get such a jacket?
Jinx.com/TRS. And you can also get shirts there.
Yes,
shirts are fun to wear.
We're working on a baby tees for you lady tees because I got a couple emails from chicks who were like, I want a baby tee, love the baby tees.
Because evidently our female fan base is strong, which is awesome.
And they need their
they
shirts.
would like shirts, which, hey,
I'd like
awesome.
you to have a shirt. That's all I'm saying.
So go there, check it
Or
out.
I wouldn't mind seeing them without shirts.
Dan went there, people. Dan Trachtenberg.
I felt like that joke had to be
At
said.
Google.com.
And our female fan base just shrank.
Yeah, or mine did. But yeah.
Everyone's like, I knew I loved that.
And
Alex
my
Jeff.
girlfriend.
All right, until next time, we will see you later. Keep it rad, San Diego.
Red also.
When will then be now?
Soon.
Oh, no, that was way
Tons of
soon.
Now, sir, everything that happens now is happening now.
Everything that's happened now.
Swear it's all true, not just the premise you, the Totally Rad Show.
That's when you catch it.